Hey, hello guys. What's up? Are you ready for deploying, right? So, what's the last time you deployed something? Yesterday? Yeah, using WeDeploy, right? Okay, so today this session is all about WeDeploy, and we will try to show you how to deploy one simple application that's not going to be so simple. This little application is going to be created using the microservice infrastructure, meaning we are going to have like 3 services, microservices, but you'll see, and you will enjoy it. Okay. So first, you must have Git, and we cannot continue until everybody says yes, that you have Git. Just nod or do something like, yeah, do you have Git installed in command line? Okay. Do you have a text editor? Yeah. And do you have a browser? Oh no browsers. Anybody's using Internet Explorer maybe? Okay. Okay. Let us know if something goes wrong. So first thing first, to do the vDeploying, right? You will need a vDeploy account. And we have today a special thing for you. So if you go to the vDeploy site, it's wdeploy.com. And whoever counts how many times I say vDeploy, he will get a special prize today. So go to the WeDeploy website and make account using either your Google account, GitHub account, whatever you want. And if you're using a Google account or something like that, you need to confirm your email. And we cannot go further before you do that. And somebody maybe has done that, but that's fine. You can use the account. So the point of this very first step, that is actually not a first, it's a 0 step, is to create an account at wdeploy.com. And if you need any help, my super friend, Ciro, he can do anything. Except if you have Windows. He actually knows to use VI very well. So did you create an account and log into WeDeploy? And if you logged into the WeDeploy, it should look like something like this. You will have like empty page, of course, here. But we need to confirm that everybody is there, logged in. Also, if you're using emails, check your email client, of course, but check the spam section or if you have some special filter for not known people, or just check that because mail can go there. Okay, so did you log into the wdeploy.com? Okay, this side, left side, everybody inside wdeploy.com, right? Not yet? Not yet? Okay, go there, no worry. We have time today, no worries. We can order some coffee as well. And meanwhile, while you're there on the WeDeploy side, you can go to the WeDeploy and let's do something because we have a special treat for you guys. So if you do go to the WeDeploy.com and go down through all these awesome features that we have up, you will go to this simple pricing. And no, you don't have to take out your credit cards now, maybe later, but click on this standard plan like you want to buy it, because why not? And you will get to the new page, as you can see. And here there is a magic link. It's called Add Coupon Code. Sorry, it's an... no, I just go to the URL and type wdeploy.com. Yeah. So just go to the, you can open few tabs if you want. It's multi-tab environment. So if you go there and let's pretend you want to buy, here in this box, you should enter the following coupon code, but it's very hard to remember, so please be careful. Okay, so it's DEVCON 2017, that's it. and click on upgrade your plan. So of course you must be logged in, right? So when you click on this code and apply this coupon code for WeDeploy, you will get, you will get a standard plan, but not for 7 days, but for 1 month. So that means that you can come home and you can pay us after in 1 month, right? To continue using the plan. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very hard, I know. DEVCON 2017. Oops. Okay, now is everybody set with a new with a there is need help. We need help there. All good? Are you on a standard super plan for super developers that are attending the super workshop? Anybody has a problem with a, or anybody needs a better plan? Maybe. Uh-huh. Maybe, but you're okay for now. Okay, so for today, maybe. It should expire for, it's a coupon, I don't know. I mean, the plan is like that, but the coupon, it has its own rules. So it's not always like what you see is what you get. Sometimes is what you don't see is what you get. Okay, so can we continue? Are we set? I mean, I'm sorry for you guys that we just have to wait everybody because this step is like very important one. Okay, meanwhile, while you're doing this, I'm going to tell you a story about WeDeploy starting from command line, right? So every good service has its own command line thing. And of course, you can use our interface to do the WeDeploy magic, but also because you're like hardcore developers and you like your command line a lot because you have all the colors there, you actually can use the WeDeploy from command line as well. So for that reason, we have this command line tool that's basically we are going to use for this workshop. And if you go to the, we need to install it, okay? So if you have a Linux or Mac or, you can try using this line, but for more details you can find on this link. This document that you're seeing on the screen on your right is basically markdown file that's on GitHub that we show you in the beginning. So I'm just, so if you get stuck at one moment, you can always go to our GitHub repository and this one and just check what's going on. So let's install the command line, and if you have a other operating system, click on the link. Let's go to the documentation, which is awesome, and it has all the information how to install it on different operating systems. If you use Windows, check Windows IMD 6 installer, and so on. And here is the build list of all builds. So first thing first, so please install the command line tool. One thing that can go wrong, I mean, depending on how your operating system is set, is that you might have permission issues. In this case, after downloading this with curl, just put here sudo before the bash, sudo bash, okay? This is for the special people. So if everything goes well, you should have a command line, you should have a new command tool in your command line, and you will just type v, enter, and you should see something else, something going on. Okay? So once again, we are installing the command line. Basically, we are still not doing anything, any deployment, by the way. We just install the tools that we need for deployment. But after this step, everything starts. Okay, so the rock and roll begins. Sorry?
If everyone is with
The plan.
the coupon,
Yeah, you must have the coupon code installed because our application is not that simple and requires more resources. So you will not be able to use it on a free plan because we want to show you more.
Is everyone in the standard plan?
Yeah, you should check if you're in the standard plan. For example, if you, yeah, it should look like this if you click on the profile with your image and your name. Early adopter plan, you mean the guys who already registered? It's not. I mean, you have more features than a free plan because as an early adopter, but it's not the same. But you will get a t-shirt. Okay, another one. So I need to confirmation. So did you install the command line? So in console, you have a problem? Tell me. Issue? It's okay. Yeah, yeah. So if is there a problem, just raise your hand, wave. Okay. So our application is going to be called DEVCON or something else. So, but before that, I guess we can continue now. So let's try to use the command line. First thing first again, we need to log in. So go to the command line, the command prompt, okay? So, and type login. What we do now is we are telling the command line tool to accept our user from the website, right? So when we do this, we will have some kind of output saying like, do you want to authenticate in the browser? Click yes. The browser opens, and magically your command line tool is getting your credentials. So from now on, you will be logged in from command line basically to the and connected to the WeDeploy site. Okay? So once again, this will not work if you didn't log in to the WeDeploy first. I mean, if you didn't confirm the email. And this is nice way because you don't have to pass any, any username and password, especially if you forget one. And you just click login. Of course, if you want to switch, you can have a multiple accounts, right? And I don't know why, but you can have one for a job and one for your personal, playground. And then you can log out and then log in again with a different account. So that's it. Okay, so did everybody logged in from the command line to the WeDeploy? Okay, any problems, any issues so far? Except there? No issues? Okay, finally, the first Java service, the first service. So we are building a little example that's based on Docker example, just for fun. It's a voting application, and you will have two buttons, and you can vote either you like more cats or dogs. And this is the first service. The first service is going to be like Java service that's presenting the web page, and also will have one or two endpoints for getting your choice, user's choice. Of course, we need to store this information somewhere. Therefore, we are going to install later a second service, a data service. And finally, because we want to see results, otherwise the poll does not have any meaning. We will have a result, third microservice, which is going to be in Liferay. But that's a future so far. Now we need to do this first service. We are going to use the Spring Boot for this. And okay, but first we need to create a project. So go to the WeDeploy.com, log in, go to the web page, and you will have like empty list of projects, and just click on new project. Okay, and because you want to create a new project, and then just type name of the project. Now you cannot type, not everyone can type just DEVCON, because I typed already. I use that name. So just, I don't know, type your name /DEVCON, type my name /DEVCON, whatever you want. Or no slash, yeah. Not slash, yeah. I mean dash, sorry. No dash. Okay, just just type one name. Letters, alphanumerics. Numerics? Okay. And the project will be created. Maybe somebody's else using it, so just create it one that's unique for you. And once you create it, you will get back to the page and the project will be here. And from now on, this handle, this project name, has two meanings, two ways how you can use it. First thing is that all URLs that we are going to use is going to have this name in the URL line. And second, from command line tool, in order to tell where we want to deploy, right? We need to tell the name of the project. So just choose one nice name. After that, we can continue and we can go and make the first service. So go to your laptop and create a project for this workshop, okay? Just create an empty project wherever you want. Empty directory, yes. Sorry. Yeah, empty folder, empty directory, mkdir, something. Just create it somewhere. And now, because this is a workshop, of course, we're not starting from like scratch and starting like hello world, hello Spring Boot, and so on. We have already in WeDeploy several boilerplate project or service code, meaning we already have prepared several boilerplates, templates for you guys, I mean for anybody who's using, so you don't have to do that manually. In our case, we also have this for the Java, using a Spring Boot, as I said, so you don't need to know the Spring Boot, but you can just use it. And let's see how we're going to use it. Just git clone this repository. This one. So go to the command line, go to the project where we have been installed, that you create. Go to the folder that you have created, and clone this repo in a folder called water. Now you can use the name because this is a service name. Services names are unique inside of your project, of course, but project names must be unique on the WeDeploy side. So from now on, you can use the same service names as I'm using for the session. So after you clone this, we are going to try to deploy it, just like that, without any change, without anything. We just want to make sure it works. Yeah. So did you clone it? Yes? Oops, sorry. Git clone. This depth is just to make it faster. Just clone it. What's cloned? So it's nothing bad. It's just regular Spring Boot application with Gradle. All just very basics. Just go there and it should look like, okay, so it's Gradle application, and sorry, the link, yeah. So it's basically github.com/WeDeploy, right? /boilerplate-java.git, and then the name of the water. You have this command on the GitHub, so you can just copy paste. You don't have to look at the screen. Really? You changed that? Okay. We have some latest changes happening. Okay. Hmm? Slash DEVCON. No, but this is okay. This is no, this is for the session, but this boilerplate code should exist. It's just nothing related to session. I mean, okay. Pull request. But did you merge? Yeah.
Let's go here. It says. Then I go here. Choose the content.
But no,
Because the
that,
boilerplate doesn't have like the application.
I know, but that was the point.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Okay. No, never mind. Okay. Okay, so either way, you can do the both way. It doesn't matter. So did you clone it? Okay, we fix that. Okay, so go to the command line and just run it, okay? And open it. We are still doing everything locally, okay? So just run the application. It's in 8080 port, or you can just click here on the link, and you should see something like this, meaning you have deployed your, sorry, you didn't deploy anything yet, but the application is running locally, meaning like you're building application, you checked out, it's working, okay, now it's time for deployment, okay? So I want everyone to see this cats, dogs screen. Do you see it? Okay, it's not working yet because we don't have a database, but still building, yeah. Gradle should download some things. Also, if you run it, the Gradle also, the Spring Boot also will download some jars, so just be patient. So we do have this boilerplate code, and this example is built on top of it. So basically what I wanted to show you is these two steps, but now we're just doing this in one step. But that's fine, that's better for you, less typing. So far what we did is like okay, we registered to WeDeploy, stuff like that. You do that only once, fine. And then we now start working on our application. We build it, we deploy, we run it locally, test it, whatever, right? So it's working, okay? Anyone? Is it working for everybody? Still building, okay. Downloading, yeah. Okay, you see this? You see cats, dogs? The code of application is very simple. While you're doing this, I'll show you what's going on. Oops, not that one. So it's a Spring Boot application, and what we have here, I'll explain this later. But what we have here is just an API. But of course, you're still not seeing the API. I will explain in a minute. You just see the resource, the web page, right? So tell me when everything works for you guys, okay? So what we're looking at, it's this screen. So cat and dogs is this. And as you see, we have like two endpoints, just very simple, just very basics, that we are going to use, okay? Everybody seeing cats and dogs? Or is it training like cats and dogs? Still downloading? Okay. So, what would you vote for, cats or dogs? Coffee. Yeah. Anyway, so while this is deploying, so we are going to have these two endpoints, and let's see how we are going to do that and what we are going to do is when you click on one of those, we will send request to the data store, okay? And we will just register in the data store. Now, when I say data store, I mean like database. For this session, we are going to use our own microservice that WeDeploy provides you. It's a NoSQL data store that reminds like Firebase, Mongo, and it's free for use, of course, for you guys. I mean, for everybody. And the good thing is it's very easy to deploy. You don't have to do anything. You just deploy it. Of course, if you want to use any other data store, you can, for example, or if you want to use like MySQL, any other relationship database, you can use it as well. But for simplicity of this demo, we are going to store all this information inside of this data store. So it's a JSON base, right? NoSQL. And we are going just to store the counts for cats and dogs. How one request in Spring Boot looks like. In case you don't know the Spring Boot, it's very simple. Basically, you just map the method in this class, controller class, and do your business handle logic there, business logic there. It's very simple. It can be done probably better than this. This is made like just in purpose. So the thing here is that you don't know now yet, but we are going to use the data store, and I will show that in next step. But this fetch votes method is going to fetch our data from data store, and then we just increment that, put back in this map because it comes from data store, it's JSON, and save everything back. So it's quite simple, really. Take JSON from data store, increment whatever we want, save it back. Are we still downloading? Okay, do you see the screen? You see the screen. You came here prepared. Give him a t-shirt. Another one. Okay, meanwhile also, inside of every your project, there might be, inside of the microservice. So you have a project, and every project consists of microservices, or if you want to say, every project consists of modules. JDK 8. Okay. You have to upgrade JDK. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can you do that? Okay. So I will explain this thing. This is, you don't have to type anything. Basically, so again, we have a project, and our project consists of microservices, okay? You can think about them like modules, or, I mean, like in logical way. Microservices connect through each other using the HTTP, right? They connect, they talk between themselves. Now, because we want to deploy this microservice, we want to tell WeDeploy what is it. We want to tell first, what's the name of this microservice? And later we are going to have some configuration for this microservice that is related to WeDeploy.com. For example, how much memory you want to use for this microservice, how much CPU you want to allocate for it, and so on. All this configuration is done in one configuration file, right? It's called WeDeploy.json, which is surprise, right? The name. And this file should be in your service folder. And if you open it if you go to the project that we clone now, like this microservice, this voter thing, you will see this WeDeploy.json. And for us now, it's very simple. We are just going to put the ID. This ID is very important for us. Why? This ID, a voter, in this case, it's the unique name of this microservice inside of your project. And it has to be unique in your project, of course. Now, the best part is that we can reference each services just using this name. And that's the beauty of it, because you will see in the next step, you're going to use the same URL locally, and it will work also when we deploy. Once again, we have this vdeploy.json file that sits there in the service root, and it's used by vcommand, right? And it's used to configure your service on the vdeploy.com. What you can put there, like I said, you can put memory limits, you can put CPU limits and stuff like that. Not only that, you can actually put their name of image, of Docker image that you want to run. Or you can put the name of our image that we provide as WeDeploy as well, as you're going to see. So just to know, this is the only file that you need to have, or I mean, you don't even need to have it because our command is smart enough to recognize if this is a Java project or if this is a simple hosting or if this is something else. But it's a good practice to have this file there just to remind you, and in case you want to install something, you know, to fine-tune your microservices. Okay, you're still downloading? Okay, so all fine, can we go further? Because now it's time. The time has come. Okay, so this is it. This is the moment of truth. Now you're going to experience the deployment finally. So go to this folder that you created and where your application was running. You can stop the application, does not matter. And do the following. You just type we deploy, right? -p and name of the project. We are telling, okay, please deploy this microservice where my current folder, right? Where I have also WeDeploy.json. Please deploy it to the project DEVCON. And now the magic begins. So when you do this, your command lines start to show the progress of deployment. It will say, okay, I'm building the project, and what's going on behind. I mean, at the end, you don't need to know, because this is a magic for you, magic that you like, right? Just deploy this. And it will upload your files, commit to some our GitHub repo, create an image from it, deploy to our infrastructure there. And again, you don't have to worry about that because this is all what we have to worry about it. And then when you deploy it, you can go meanwhile while it's deploying, go to the WeDeploy console and check what's going on.
What do you do if it says retrying to get status and now it's number 7?
Just wait, it's counting, right? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'll try as well here, just to see. Now it's time for Ciro to start running. So it's uploading, it's building there. So all your code is uploaded, built. For now, we're using the Gradle because it recognizes the Gradle, and there should be a task Gradle build, right? And Gradle run as well because we are going to run this. And the thing that you see here now, and you will see also in the console, is like this voter-devcon.vdeploy.io. From now on, this is the URL of your microservice. It consists of service name and the project name, of course, and vdeploy.io. So if you're on a free plan, you can use this as a name. You know, it's not like on Amazon when you have like this stupid big name, right?
So it currently builds inside of the server right now. That's why it's taking. So like if you go to the service, you can check the logs that says building this.
Okay.
There, and if you check the logs, it says downloading that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll check now. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like.
Okay. We'll see. Mine is still building. Yeah. Anyway, while this is building, so where I was. And of course, if you have a custom domain, you don't have to use then vdeploy.io, right? And also, nice thing that you have a HTTPS as well out of the box. So once when this is deployed on the website, you will be able also to go to the website and see the status and see the microservice there. But you can use this name. And basically, you can use this name from any other application. which is very nice because from now on, at the moment when this is deployed, from that moment you can use this microservice from wherever you want. You can use this URL like from I don't know, your application, your web page. You can use from mobile and stuff like and other stuff. And more important, you will use this also the same URL to communication between your services. Okay, so we need to wait this thing to build. And at the end, it should look something like this on the screen. The thing is that it downloads, I mean, for each one of you, it downloads the whole thing, right? Because it rebuilds every time. Which logs? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because the Spring Boot, it downloads, you first need to download the dependencies and then it starts running. So just ignore, for example, this warning your kernel does not support. This is something not related to you guys. It's just relax. We're in Amsterdam. This is not important. It's just some kernel panic. Just relax. So you see, it's pushing there. It's pushing stuff. Yeah. So now it's digesting. That's cool. So for each microservice, you also have, you can see on the left side what you have. You have activities, which means you can see what's going on, not only by you, but all collaborators that you have. So I'm talking this, just not to have a awkward silence while this is working. Activities to see what's going on. Collaborator activity, but also your deployment activity. You have the logs, as you can see, and also logs can be filtered by service and by the like build logs, all logs, and you will see the service logs. Metrics is one most very important page, because on that page you will be able to see like CPU usage in real time, memory usage, and so on. And of course, deployment that says how you can deploy all this. Again, that's what we are doing now. Settings, I don't know. Yeah, master token. Okay. So as you see, I have this voter application on my project page. So once again, if you click on this button, we are going to list of all your projects, but then if you all of your projects, but then when you click on a project, you will get a project page, right, with list of microservices or just an overview. So when you click on this service, now we are getting the information of what's going on inside. Not okay. So this is metrics for the. Yeah, this is the big logs. Yeah, here.
Yeah, I think I had to like go back to overview, and then it was like saying building, and then there was a separate entry there. Yeah, it says.
Oh, you mean on the right side? Yeah. This is the deployment activities. Yes, that's right. You mean what says this? Yeah. Yeah, it will succeed. Ciro will help us. So did it work for somebody? Or we just have to wait? On the command line, you will see also a nice feature that if something goes wrong, we detect that also in the command line, and it gives you like question like, do you want to check the logs? So that's very neat. You can also go to the same logs. For you. Yeah, okay, you can go.
It works.
It works. Okay. So no, never mind. So I'm going to explain now the following. So if you go to the service, what you can do with it, you have here like you can restart service in case something goes wrong and you want to check again. And of course you can delete it. And the thing is, the link that I was telling you about, this voter DEVCON, is this link, and you just can click it, and it will just run your application, of course, when it's up. So in your case, it's working. Yeah. So it may be that sometimes, it says like it's in warning state, like on my screenshot here. Let me show you. It says like it's unknown. Sorry, it's unknown state, but for me it was working because maybe I made the screenshot, and until I go back to the page, it was working. But let's just click on this link, and you should see our cats and dogs page. Is it working for you guys? Yeah. For somebody else? Okay, so left side is working and right side not. It's working for you? Okay, almost not. Working, and him? Not working for him. No, that's from the command line. Yeah, but command line, then go to here and let's restart the service. No, this is when you go to the page. Go to your console. So go to this console where you have the overview, and go to the service, and then click and restart. That's fine. Okay, it will come. Or you can look, she's sitting next to you. But this guy has Mac.
So they can deploy via the GitHub as well.
I don't know that. You have to tell them. But it's not working for me. Okay. So working there. You? Is it working for you guys? Here? Not? Okay. Who has a problem? Okay. Can you show up? Come show the hands. That does not see the two. Just two. 3, 4. 4? Okay. Okay, the next step is basically, because the next step is very simple. You can do this while we're fixing this one. The next step is about data. So I told you, we need a data service, okay? And for the data service, we have two ways how we can deploy it. First way is just going through UI. So again, we go back to the project and we want to install the new service. Go to the project, install service, okay? So the new service is using the WeDeploy data. Go there, click on this data, and just choose the name. And please choose DB because this is the name how we are referencing it in our source code, although you have to change that as well, but you will see. And just click install. Once when you do that, it will show you again that service was created successfully. It appears here, and in a few moments, if you go to see the logs, this service will start. And this one will start soon. And once when it's up, your data store is ready. It's running. As you can see, we are using the Elasticsearch. And as you see, I clicked on the link and I see the output, meaning we're having something there, okay? So my service is up. It's online, okay? I clicked again on DEVCON, WeDeploy IO, and I have the JSON response coming from the DB. So all I have to do is just click on the website and deploy. Of course, you don't want to do that always, just using the UI. You want to do that manually because you want to put this in some script and stuff like that. For that reason, we have this alternative kind of way to install the same thing, which we are not going to do, but I'm going to show you. It's about adding the data. Oops. So instead of clicking there, you can just go to this DB folder and again use the WeDeploy JSON to do the very same thing, exactly the same. So again, because this is a microservice, we need the WeDeploy.json there, right? And we need a name for that microservice, right? So you don't have to do this, I'm just explaining. And then in order to tell WeDeploy what we want to install, in this case, this is a data store, we need to say which image we want. And yes, this image is like Docker image. And in our case, this is the image of our data store. So just by putting this image name here, in the same way how would you use in Docker, you can install basically anything. Or you can install like this this database engine that we just did online using the UI. Of course, you can install like this almost any Docker image that you have on the public Docker Hub. You can't install local images, of course, because WeDeploy cannot know what's inside your local computer. But as long as you have some public image, you can install it. And of course, you can install any other existing Docker image out there, which means you can install any database, anything, whatever you want, you need for your application. So again, this is like an alternative command line way how you can do the same thing what we did online through the UI. And now we have these two services, and for the beginning we need to start and make them work. Okay, so back to the local computer. Okay, go to your Gradle application and let's run it locally, okay, to the voter. Just go locally and running. But first, before you do that, we need to change the URL. So go to the Java code, and on top of that, there is like DB URL. So this DB URL is the URL that WeDeploy gave to you when you deployed the DB microservice. And I said, from the moment when this service is up, this is your URL for this microservice. So just put it there, put your own in the Java code, and let's start, and let's not deploy it yet. Let's just start and see if it's working locally, okay? To see is it working at all, right? And this example shows you how you can work locally with remote data store in the same way how would you, for example, work with, I don't know, Firebase, with any other Mongo, for example, if you have somewhere in a network and something like that. And we will run our Gradle Java, our Spring Boot application locally, but it will connect and talk to our data store that is deployed on WeDeploy. So far, so good. If you have any questions. Okay. So if everything works, it should, if I click on cats, my request should go and work. There shouldn't be like 400 here in the browser. Or if you go to the oops. Or if you go to the our Yeah, we have many domains. What I want to show you is this, that inside of this database that we have online, we also have another tab here. It's called database, where you can see the results, or not the results, you see the content of your data store, which is another thing that you have here by using our microservice. So besides the common things that we have here, like logs, metrics, environment, custom domains, and that, we have now a new tab here for data storage database where you can easily see what I have inside. And if I go to my local machine and click on the one of those buttons, I should see the change here. Yeah, it works. It's 11. So what I did now, what I'm showing you now, is how you work locally with remote microservice, like data store. And you will be able to see different collections here as well. Yeah. So this is a breakpoint. I want to see that everybody has reached to this point. And this is point where you can work locally with remote service. Is it okay? So just click on button and then go back to the WeDeploy page and check this database tab. Is everybody okay with that? Any problems so far? Can you work locally? If you click on a button, do you see it counts there? Right? Yeah, okay. So it's working, okay? Any problems? Okay, so once again, we have built local application. You try, you debug, whatever, it works. You use data store that is on WeDeploy.com. We install this data store. I'm just a little recap. I install this data store using the UI, but I can do this manually as well using command line. Okay, so now our application is ready. Our Java application is ready. Our Java microservice is ready to go online because we checked everything works, okay? When you click button, it works. And you don't have to do anything now because we have used the same URL to data store. And all we have to do is just go to the command line. Okay, let's stop the application, and then just again, WeDeploy -p and your project name. As you notice, I didn't have to stop anything. I didn't have to remove something. I'm just telling WeDeploy, okay, I just want to deploy this service again. And what's going to happen is now that this code with your URL that's working locally is going to be pushed there on the cloud, and it is going to be built for you, and it's going to run. And when it's up, you should go to this URL that we are giving, like voter dash whatever you put for the project name. Click on there, and you will be able to see this application running on the WeDeploy. In this very same way how it runs locally, now it runs there. Of course, while this is building and downloading again, because it uses all the thing, it builds the container all over again. The things that how you can configure, because somebody can say, okay, but I need some special different parameters in production, right? Because okay, locally I might have some local environment development things, right? Like configuration that is more for local development, but for there. Of course, you can use different files, but also you can use the environment variables to configure everything you need. And you can specify them either in WeDeploy JSON or you can specify them online here. So if your application is using some configuration and that uses from the environment, you can simply set it here or you can set it in the WeDeploy JSON. So let's see where we are now. Are you deploying as well? Okay? So you see the container is building, so that's like Docker is working there. Gradle is running also. Starting a Gradle daemon. So Gradle is now taking control of the building and running it. And soon you're going to have this application online. Okay? So while this is going on, we are proceeding to the next step, because the next step takes more time, you will see. The next step is, okay, so this will be up and you will see the experience will be the same. You will have the same page, but online on WeDeploy. Fine, that's going to work. So let's now make let's put Liferay, the moment you're all waiting for. Okay, so to put Liferay there, we basically need to, again, install a new service. So, but for the Liferay is big, right? And the common way how you can install it, again, there are two ways. So you can go install it from the UI, go to services and choose the Liferay DXP trial in the same way how we install the data store. But no, we are not going to do that way. We are going to do differently. We are going to do that from the command line because we want something else to set. So if you go to the folder that you have cloned, there is a subfolder called results, meaning we want a microservice that's called result that's going to show us results of our voting, right? Because otherwise there is no meaning of having votes. And for that reason, of course, we're going to use Liferay to show the results. And we are going to have a plugin there, little portlet, that just using the JavaScript goes to the data store, fetch the data, and shows that in the portlet code. Very simple. So now, but before that, I want to share you two things. We also have the API. You're not aware of that, but if you go to the command, if you go to the Java code, and you can see the following, that we are using something calling WeDeploy API client. Meaning what? If you go to this fetch, say votes, let's see the fetch votes, okay. So our Java application is using HTTP to call the data store, right? How you do that? You can use different libraries. You can use any library out there that exists to fetch the data, right? Because it's HTTP at the end, right? But we also have the WeDeploy API that helps you. That's tailored for WeDeploy, of course. So besides it, what it can do, besides doing the like simple HTTP requests, it can also do some shortcuts, as you will see. And this is the way how we are using. Once again, you don't have to use it that way, but it makes sense to use it because authentication and stuff like that would be much simpler using the WeDeploy API. And this is the example of WeDeploy API in Java, in our Spring Boot application. You already used that by starting it already. And as you see, it's quite fluent and easy to use. You just create a request in this case because it's a public API. I'm just checking if there is result code, preparing a map, okay, no domain objects yet, and stuff like that. This API is also aware of JSON out of the box, so you can also map directly to your domain code. And what else? There is this response here that also fetch the data from saves data back to because it used put. I'm just overwriting everything every time, okay? Yes, it is, because there are asynchronous also methods for each of those. Yes. In the beginning, everything was asynchronously, but then later we add this synchronous way. I think it's called put async at the end, and then because it's Java 8, you use completable futures to do that, to continue your flow. Now, the same API exists in JavaScript, Android, and other languages as well. So, for example, for this last example that we are going to use, the Liferay, we use the JavaScript code to fetch the data in this portlet. So back to the results, what we have here. So I made a little tweak because of the time and the purpose of this workshop. I have this folder, is called source folder, and I have this deploy folder. Let me explain again. So this is a microservice that will run Liferay DXP and this plugin. We need to tell WeDeploy what we want to deploy, right? So once again, we have this configuration file. It's called WeDeploy.json, where we're going to put the following. We're going to put the ID, like I said, you need to have the name, right? And then I need to say what I want to deploy. In this case, this is the WeDeploy Liferay image, okay? This is a Docker image that you can run by yourself anyway, using just Docker. And finally, there is a constraint that we want to put. The constraints are memory and CPUs. We have we need of course, for Liferay, we need more stuff. So we need more memory and more CPUs. That's why you're using the standard plan as well. And finally, I think the most important thing related to development is the following, is the volume. So, if you're not aware with Docker volumes, this is the way how you can map something in this image to your local code, local folder. You know, like an easy way to explain. And what we're telling now here is that I want to map this folder in the image to my service folder where I'm now, where is my service. And this folder in the image is Liferay home image, Liferay home folder. So dash opt Liferay is Liferay home. And by using this command, this volume settings, thank you. By using these settings, I just said to the image that my Liferay home is going to be here in my service. Of course, this works for any other image that you have, not only for Liferay image in case you need to use volumes. So in our case, it works as well. So that means that if I have a deploy folder here, like I have, it means that once when I push and deploy, WeDeploy all these to WeDeploy.com, it will start the Liferay, and also the Liferay itself will be aware of this deploy folder. Okay? And it will install whatever is there. And there we have a simple jar that we made for the purpose of this application. Source of this jar? 2 gigs for the volume. Okay. So what's inside of this folder is this is a jar folder. So I didn't want to create all the environment. I just unzip it, you know, doing just like by hand. This is like, now we are talking Liferay. This is not anymore related to the WeDeploy. I have a module. I see this is the content of the module, and I have the packages, the stuff, metainf, OSGI information. I think this is like JSP portlet that you can find on Liferay, wherever they're putting it, these examples. So like I said, I didn't even took the Java here. What I did is going to the resources, and in the view of the portlet, I did the magic. I use this time the JavaScript API to fetch the data. So because we wanted to show you the same thing from the JavaScript. Okay, so what I will have a page with these 2 divs. Okay, I mean the page, the plugin page, the portal page. And there I'm going to fetch the data using the WeDeploy API using JavaScript. Again, it's done in very similar way like we are doing in Java, but now in JavaScript. Again, WeDeploy.url.get, and because this is a promise, we are continuing like a promise.
Remove the volume, just go faster.
Huh?
Remove the volume, just go faster.
Would it work?
Yeah, without the volume, it will go faster.
Okay, but we are not deploying yet. Okay.
It will just not persist.
But it will deploy this. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and after this, in this promise, we're just doing the common HTML thing to set the data. But what you notice here is the API is almost similar like to Java API, which is fine. And we also had to import the WeDeploy JavaScript here. In case you this is again Liferay only thing. In case you want to do that from JavaScript, you need to put these commands first. So this is everything there. It's prepared for you guys. You can just run it. If not, sorry?
What about the DB link?
That's the thing, yes, okay, good question, because the DB link, because we are doing this in JavaScript, there is. Yeah, you need to change that, right? Here. Yeah, yeah, you can just rebuild the jar. I have a script there for that. So, of course, you need to your own link for the DB, don't use mine. So go to this view.jsp. Now this is totally hackish, I know this is totally not Liferay thing, but sorry guys. But we just want to have this result fast, right? So that's what we want to do. So change this, find this file, change it, and then rebuild the jar file. And rebuild means zip it again, and I have the script for you, it's there, it's called, you will not guess, it's called build make jar.sh. And this make jar will actually zip all your source folder into the jar, and that's it. Once when you're done, we are going to deploy now, okay? But I need first you to tell me that you build this jar. If you're a Windows user, please just convert it to Windows. It's okay. So 2 steps: find the view.jsp and change the URL there, and then rebuild the jar. Okay? This is like a simulation of whatever you will do locally with Liferay. Of course, you will use the, I don't know, Liferay IDE, you will use Gradle, you will use whatever mechanism you're using to build the plugins for the portlet, for the Liferay. You will probably have the Liferay instance there so you can test, right? But the outcome should be this jar file in our case. So whatever process you're using, you will be using, the outcome would be the same. So build this jar file and then let's try to deploy it. Now, we need a little hack here. So did you do that? Did you prepare the jar file? The jar file should be here. So if you want to be just safe, just deploy the existing one and just delete the existing one and try to build it again, okay? Using this. Yeah, so it's just zipping and creating a jar file, okay? This is just a hackish way again to do this, to prepare the jar file for this demo. So not to bring the whole Liferay environment in this workshop. Okay? Do you have the jar file ready? Ready to build? Okay, you ready? But first, to make things faster, because again, WeDeploy takes a lot of time. Once I wait for 15 minutes just to run, just remove the volume here, because by default it will, I just wanted to show you that you should use it and that you can use it and that you have this option. But in order to make it faster for us now, we are going to remove that, okay? Just remove the volume because WeDeploy will know what to do. It's like magic. And that's it. So again, remove it from WeDeploy JSON. Just remove the volume. There was volume here, just remove that line. So again, you can use it. It's not something that you don't have to use it, but just to make things faster, we are going to remove them. Remove it now. And volumes also can be used for storing data and persisting data and for the backups that will come in the future. So basically you will put something on the you are able to put some things on the volumes that you want to persist, okay? And now we are ready to deploy. Go to this Liferay, go to the results folder. Okay, you should be there already. Again, check if there is go to the deploy folder, check if there is a jar. Oh yeah, there is a jar. Did you create this jar? Yes. Did you made a JavaScript change? Yes. It's time. And believe it or not, you will type the very same command again. WeDeploy -p DEVCON or your project name. And you can actually make an alias for this. And when you click enter, magic, unicorns. Liferay. Liferay goes cloud. So in this case, this building and pushing is very simple because there is none, almost none. We just have jar going there. But starting Liferay, it's going to take some time, but that's fine. Especially for the first time, it takes time. This is kind of song. For the first time, it takes time. And as you can see on my page here, all my service is up now. Voter is up, DB up, and results up online. But don't be fooled. We only registered that something like service is up, like there is something going on and that everything is green. But this does not mean that if your application is huge and big and do some initialization like Liferay application is doing, we cannot track that, of course. We don't know what's actually going on there. So that's why we said it's online, but we still need to wait for Liferay to actually really starts. Like really starts. And while we are waiting for that, you should all have like this page up, or we can just wait. And the cool thing here is that you can all do this in parallel. You can now stop and, I don't know, other service and stuff like that. But, for example, be aware of the following. So if you have two microservices, like we have a database and a Java layer, and if you, for some reason, if you restart the database and your Java layer is not aware of that, or your driver is not aware of that, like to reconnect, you might have issues. So you might need to restart both. That's like a common thing that people are not being aware of. So just in case, if you see that if your main application is not seeing the data store, it sometimes means that it was simply not up in the right time. So you should maintain these dependencies as well, like to know what's going on. So basically, you need to start the data store first and then the other one. So in our case, we are not using any like driver or something. We are always using the HTTP request directly every time. In our case, this does not matter. We don't cache anything. We don't have any pool of connections like to the MySQL. So we can just restart anytime we want. Let me see where we are with Liferay. So results, it's still building, running Kalos SQL. So it runs, it takes time. So this is again not related to WeDeploy. If we click here, we are going to eventually see the Liferay DXP. Yeah, so this is still not up. Okay, so basically we are now coming to the end of our session when this comes up and you will see the result on your page. Now, while we are waiting for this, because it will simply take time, it's right time for your questions. If you have any.
If you have your own Docker image of some kind, you have to have it like uploaded to DEVCON.
Yes, for now, because the cloud is out there, it does not know where you are. So for now, we do not support like private Docker repos. So theoretically, you might have your own private one with username and password, so out there. And we might use that, I mean, like anybody else, we might use that one as well, but for now we don't have that. We just use the public one. Yeah. Yeah, there is not yet way from here to SH there, but we plan to have that. But in our case, we try not to, I mean, you shouldn't think about like Docker now. The point here is like we want to give you like a layer between you and whatever we use there. So I'm telling you I'm using Docker, but in the future, I don't know, you don't know if it's an Amazon, maybe it's a joint server, it's something else, you know, you don't know that. And for now, I don't know if this is on our roadmap to have this like shell tool, or it might be on the UI. So it's somewhere in the roadmap, but for now it's not, we are not giving you any information about like, oh, this is a swarm, this is how you connect to this image, this is the ID of the. Yeah, so we want to hide all these things for you, so you don't care. You just want to redeploy. Okay, hook is starting. Okay, something. Okay, so this might be up, but okay, so it's only 200, almost 5 minutes. That's fast, huh? Let's see if the plugin is there. Okay, still waiting for the Liferay portal to do whatever it has. So we build basically 3 microservices and we connect them, and we connect them using the Java API, we connect them using the JavaScript API. We also have the same API for Android, for Go, or for some other languages as well. But mostly these 3 are like most used so far. Oh, here. Liferay XP is up. Test, finish configuration. So, okay, we need to go through the test. Okay, my father's middle name is Test, of course. Yeah. Oh, hello world. Okay, so now we are going to add this plugin that we created. So again, we are now outside of WeDeploy world. We are back to the Liferay world, and we are going to add. It's called. Sorry? No, where it is? You know that better than me. Sorry? Aha, plus icon. Yeah, here. That's right, on the right side. Add new. Applications. Yeah. Here, WeDeploy portlet. Add. Voting results are coming. Maybe. So let's see. It should be there. Last time they were there. Oops. Well, good thing is that I show you before that worked. So for some reason. Well, maybe it's working for you. Can you try that? With the URL. Yeah, but I show you basically it should work from here.
Yeah, it like it tries to go there, but it's gonna error.
No, I don't have anything with the DB results.
Error. Cannot use root card in access control allow origin when credentials flagging.
This is the API thing. This is the new version of API. Okay. Well, maybe Zeno can help us with that. This is the thing that we changed recently because our server has changed the way. It's basically there was a bug in Vertex that we are using internally. It changed how this access control origin stuff should be passed. Obviously, we didn't upgrade, or I didn't upgrade. But yeah, that only Zeno can help us with this JavaScript library. But this is in terms of Java. But you saw that in the beginning that it was working. So, so I'm sorry, it really works. Okay, so do you have any questions? Because this is basically that's it. You can always go to you can always go to the results here, data store, and check out the. Any question? So we did like in slow. Tell me. Sorry? I can, yeah. You want a professional plan? If you have a plan, yes. Okay.
How is the support arranged?
How are you going to support?
Yeah. Do you give support to if someone
Yeah, but depending on the plan. Yeah. Right, right. Yeah. Depending on the plan. It's all there. I think they put it on the website. Uh, Here. I think there is like technical support. Yeah, if you need an enterprise plan, you need to click this button. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, this is all new to us as well. So, all regarding the pricing, it's there. But there is like support. I don't know in which plan and how, but you can call and we can talk. Also, like main question, so I can share with you guys as well, is like people are asking, is clustering, for example. So the idea behind all this is not just that you can simply deploy stuff like we did now. Basically, we deployed like 3 microservices. Like we could do that in like 20 minutes maybe. So the question was like, what about scaling? Like, what if I want my SQL's cluster? And we say yes, that's what we are going to do, and we actually have this already cooked. So the idea is that you should be able for every microservice to scale, to have a little slider or drop down box that you choose how many instances of it you want, and you will automatically get the cluster of what you want. Of course, it will be provided by us. So uh, if you want to do by yourself, fine, you can do. But for some services, we will provide as well by ourselves. So people were asking mostly about Liferay DXP, of course, if we provide cluster ones. So together with Liferay folks, we are going to prepare these images and make it available. Also, one question that was common was about the installation on premise or where it is really working. So this is because there are some laws in Europe that request that to have the data center in Europe. Very soon, we are not tied to any region, right? We are currently working this on North America region, but there is no reason and there is no like technical reason why we cannot run it anywhere else. So that will be also one of the things that we are going to provide soon. The way to install this or use the WeDeploy, and we guarantee that's located in like Europe. And finally, there would be an option, like we are working on that for some time, that you can install this on premise as well, which is super cool. That was like top questions that we get. Also, his name is Ciro and he's from Brazil. That was like third question.
One of the guys was Deploy. He has like the deploy directory of Liferay. Then I'm not sure which in the when he runs make the script.
You just zip and move there. Very simple.
It's like it should show in the home screen. It should show in the home screen the Volter result.
I know it's not working because of this.
It's not showing this.
So this is the recent change.
Oh, this is from the recent change.
Yeah. But it's not that. It's not that. It's us. It's a JavaScript library. So how do you feel now after you redeployed? After we redeployed, you feel now fine, right? Now you can just try playing with redeploy. You can try redeploy something. You will see, like, if you have some like pet project, then you can like truly like just want to push it there to see how it works. Just redeploy it. Call us. Choose a plan. Give us. Yeah, that will be bad. But you know, if you have some evil things, then no, that's fine. No, that's fine. You can use any language. I mean, you can probably use Basic if you find. So, yeah. And the good thing is that you have limits, right? So, I mean, if your process for some reason, you know, we all make bugs, right? So, I like to make like this recursion, like, oh, go, and then memory rise, and stuff like that. But, you know, you have a limit and you will not be able to go over that. So, your application will just either break or stop. Sorry? Yeah. Exactly. You can do also the same thing from the GitHub. So if you have a project there, you can push to your. So it works like almost like Heroku, I think. So you push stuff on your source to the GitHub. You don't have to have locally, of course. So this is fine because you can make this as part of your process. So you can have your code on the GitHub, and then you have a hook for that. So every time when you push something, it fetch for you and build and deploy. Yeah. Also, feel free to go to this tutorial site we have. This is also kind of new on the WeDeploy. So when you go up, you have like help center. Okay, it's not a documentation. I mean, it's not like it's not written in the documentation way because you just type like what you want to install. Like, oh, I want Java. Fine. I want, I don't know, WordPress. Or maybe WordPress is not here. Okay, WordPress. Yeah, how can I install WordPress? How can I deploy Docker? So you have all these questions already answered on this page on Help Center. It's very cool because it's just like steps, and for most of them we have a GitHub example, like step by step. Like, okay, Java. How can I deploy Java? Okay, go to the tutorial. And tutorial is very like step by step. I'm ready to go. Download, clone, do this, read these pro tips. It's all of what I said, because now you're pros. So do that, deploy, as you can see, and that's it. It's very cool also for web hosting. If you need some static hosting, you can just have your HTML folder where you have all the site. You just deploy it there. That's it. It will even recognize you don't even need a vdeploy.json. It will recognize it's a static hosting. So it works very well for the free plan, of course, because no CPU usage, nothing. Just basically the files, the size of the repo. So it really makes.
So, I'm browsing through that. So there's for each service you have a separate folder with the WeDeploy JSON file, right?
Yeah. So our recommendation is to have like one project folder and then subfolder is the services, but you can have it anywhere.
And so there's no way to configure. Okay, I want this like some subnet with those services.
Subnet? No.
So there's no like Docker compose.
Not in that sense. No. It's not like you can say, like in Docker, you can say, okay, I want this to be part of my network. No. So when you deploy this project will have its own network. Inside of this network, you can actually call each other just using this name. Yeah. So that works, yes. But we propose like not to use just names, because if you do this locally, you will need a full URL, because when you run your application locally here and you want to use the data store that is there, you need a full URL, right? So we say, I mean, of course, you can make this like a option in your code. But basically you get your own network and all your components, you can see each other from each other. I mean, you can see each other. So theoretically, if you can go there and ping, you will see each other up.
How do you specify which port service?
So which ports are exposed? We have this, so for now we expose one port. So our Spring Boot application runs on 8080. We don't care. I mean, it can run on any port, but we take this port that's published. We take, if there is more, we take the first one, and we publish it and map it as 80. So for now, your application should expose one port. But if you need more ports, we will support that soon. It's just a matter of how we are going to configure that.
So it determines which ports opens, and then picks the first one.
Yeah, there is also option in WeDeploy to say, in WeDeploy to JSON to say which port it is. Yeah, if for some reason you need the specific one.
Some apps they open a ton of ports.
Yeah. Usually they do, like especially like some Elasticsearch, for example, it opens several. Yeah, but to be see outside for now we support only one, but this was only mostly from some configuration issues that we had, but soon it.
They internally, if you access them by name, so this internal local network and project, but then you can resolve the ports.
Well, I'm not sure that because we did some changes recently. Maybe I think so. Maybe because.
Yeah, this exposed port is like from outside.
Yeah. I know, but also outside from the Docker itself. Yeah. So the question is because we need to add a little component there that measure traffics and stuff, right? So it depends if we go through that or not. So you can ask me later. I will talk to Ciro. He worked on that recently. So I know that was some change. So I don't know that by my heart now. But it's definitely one of the things that people are asked. Like our friend also, Mate, he's asking for 2 ports for some time now. He's our early adopter, so so we will provide it soon. Okay, more questions? Okay, if you have, we have our booth. Okay. What? Which? Yeah. So like 1 week. To fix that, you mean? Okay, so to fix that, I think it's more in our API client, because we recently changed we had this issue. Actually, Vertex, this application server that we were using, had this some default setup that was not correct regarding this security, right? But we just used it anyway because it was available, right? And now they changed that, and then we had to upgrade all our libraries to support this new change, to add a new flag, basically. So in the time when I wrote this, this change was not applied, and it was working. But now with the new this JavaScript change, so I think that we just need to upgrade the version of the JavaScript library, and it should work. Or just add this flag in the list of these commands when you request. One of those two. Yeah, we'll ask Zeno. He knows that. Yeah, we will probably update this repo. Yeah. Okay. Grab your bag. Did you have your t-shirts? Yeah. Tell anybody else like, oh, it was so cool to do WeDeploy. Yeah, like, oh, where have you been? I was WeDeploying. Yeah, they're all ready there, but I don't know which. I mean, we can check, for example, okay, let's see. Just go to the GitHub, a lot of things is open source, WeDeploy, and then, for example, just type API. API, and you will see API Swift, for example, API Go, API Java, okay, API Android, JavaScript. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. So for iOS, for Go as well. So we are using actually this Go in our command line. All this is available. Everything is published to the Maven Central, or I mean, whatever. Yeah, and it makes sense to check the tutorials. You see there are a lot of tutorials like Docker tutorial, hosting, Ruby, Node.js, authentication, how it works. Just go there and pick up the tutorial. You will see it's very simple. Or just type boilerplate. 9 results. So this is also example how you can start hacking.
Has somebody ever deployed Minecraft?
Oh, now you gave me an idea. Yeah, that's
One of the first things that
what. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you should be able. I mean, yeah, it's Java server at the end. Okay.